If you can see here, and obviously from the title, we now have a space shuttle in Microsoft Flight Sim, but it's a little cooler than that because just having a space shuttle isn't that exciting. You need to be able to do real re-entry missions and actual approaches and things like that, not just slew mode around and find a spot. So thankfully, with this add-on, we get exactly that. So this one right here, KTTS Final Approach, is spawning from, I believe, 10,000 feet and obviously gliding in. This approach here is spawning from 50,000 feet and gliding in. But to make it even cooler, if we go to world map, and you can literally spawn anywhere you want. So I'll spawn out here in the freaking ocean, okay? Set as departure. Fly. Watch what it does. So here we have officially loaded into where I just loaded in. As you can see, we have a lot of heat underneath our plane. But let me give you a perspective here. We are not in the ocean where I spawned. In fact, we are on approach into KTTS, which is the shuttle landing facility, from well over 100,000 feet. And this plane will auto fly for you down to 50,000, at which point you take control, which, if I'm not mistaken, that's how it works in real life. But before we do this super cool part, the gliding from the max altitude, I think we go 10,000 feet, 50,000 feet, then we'll do the full one. We're gonna see how each of these works. We'll look in the cockpit, we'll look at the whole thing. We'll see how it is. I'm really excited for this because, as you know, I did a video a while back about a shuttle re-entry that was basically not a shuttle re-entry at all. It was kind of just a physical model. So this one should be much cooler. Okay, so like I said, we'll go from the lowest to the highest. I think that's our best bet. As you can see, this is quite the steep approach. Okay, so it has done it for us. Whoa. Is it? Okay, so this seems very high. Part of me thinks there's no way it was supposed to spawn us in this high. Let me go active pause just for oh, I can't even go active pause. We'll have to look at the cockpit in the little bit of free time we have here. I mean, that looks pretty freaking cool. Let's put up a real picture of the inside of a space shuttle for you guys to look at, but this looks insane. I do think the entry speed is supposed to be very fast, but this speed seems unrealistically high. You also can't see much of anything. Oh, I wonder if our drag chute works too. Can I get rid of the cover? Oh, yeah. Drag chute. Oh, yeah. We may have screwed ourselves. Maybe you really do need to be that steep. Let's get a little bit of airspeed back. Come on. Oh, I think we really messed this up. I think we should just go for a restart. Good thing I'm not a actual space shuttle astronaut. Let's redo this again.
2,000 years later.
Try number 2. Again, very high here. Let's get our window correct. I'm not going to put my speed brake out until the end. You can see even with our angle facing down here, however many degrees we're facing down, our airspeed is still reducing. So this thing is maybe way more of a brick than I thought it was. And this gives me perspective of how bad the re-entry last time we did was. And then look at these screens. There's nothing like this. There's nothing remotely like this in the sim. This must have been so much work. Like, this seems so steep, like dangerously steep. I think we do go a little speed break here. Guess what developer made it? And then at the end of the video, I will say, and you can see if your perception of reality is good enough for that developer or not. Okay, this is incredibly steep. This would be so scary in real life. Okay, pull back, pull back, pull back. I did it. Okay, this is sad. Performance-wise, again, this is also, I didn't mention this. This is in Flight Sim 2020. My assumption is that it will come out for 2024, but I don't know. Okay, as we're coming in here for the third failed attempt, I mean, the exterior textures look really good. Again, once we get into the loaded in at 100 whatever thousand feet, I'll do active pause. We'll take a look at the textures on the outside, textures on the inside, try to get a better feel for it. But I mean, so far, it's feeling good. When we get right over where the asphalt starts, I'm gonna put our gear out, okay? The angle is so, like, unintuitive. Okay, gear. Does it come out quick? Yeah, it does. Good. Here we go, folks. Bleed off a little airspeed. Gonna land a little bit late. There we go. Nose down. Brakes. Oh, does our stuff work? Oh, maybe we have to go faster. On the 50,000 foot one, we'll try to deploy our chutes. I would assume they work, although I'm not sure yet. So let's get to 50,000 feet. We'll see how that mission is, and then we'll do the final full re-entry mission. Okay, so it's the next day. I was flying the shuttle again, and I did get the chute to work. So it does work. I was just trying to deploy it too slow before, I guess. So this is the 50,000 foot one. Entering the TAEM at 50,000 feet, the shuttle switches to manual CSS mode. You now have full control, like I was saying earlier. Follow the flight path towards the HAC. Perform the maneuver to align yourself with the final approach to runway. Difficulty moderate. Let's see. Okay, here we are. 50,000 feet. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're essentially just looping around, doing a turn here, like maybe 130-degree turn, and then trying to land this. I have no idea what the logic is here. I mean, I feel like we're pretty slow. Like, we're at a very steep descent. We're going 270 knots. So this is a pretty cool perspective. I can't talk. There's KTTS. Here's some kind of launch pad. I assume these are as well. And then I think that's where they build the rockets in that massive building. Okay, here we go. Turning. We're 27,000 feet. I may have started turning way too late. You left the activity area. Try number 2. I can't seem to do anything right with this re-entry. So I think we need to start turning. With this descent rate, we're going negative 24,000 feet per minute. So we have about 2 minutes total until we get on the ground at this rate. But I think we're only doing one turn. Like, think about doing this from this perspective, where there is almost nothing to see. Like, these guys are very impressive. Okay, here we go, turning. 35,000 feet. I need to turn faster because we left activity area last time. Again, I'm very impressed with the avionics and everything. Everything's so different than any other plane, which must make things very difficult from a developer's perspective. Again, you need to be so much steeper than you think you need to be. I mean, think about doing this in real life. You have one shot. You and everybody you're with are gone forever. Okay, we've done our final turn. Here we are. 10,000 feet. This may be a little shallower than we were before, but it's actually not nearly as bad as I was assuming it was going to be. And we're holding 305 knots. I'm honestly happy with this so far. Okay, there's 500. Gear coming out. Speed brake coming out. Nose up. Oh, rough. Honestly, I mean, that was rough, but from 50,000 and with the turn to do it on second try, I'm actually not that irritated. Let's go up to our highest altitude and we'll see how the interior and how the exterior looks as far as textures. Look at that. The heat, like, come on, man. Look at that. That nose looks so cool. I was told it should be flying itself all the way down to 50,000 feet. I think it's freaking out a little bit because I did active pause. So just ignore that for now. See, I don't even know what all of this stuff look at all that. We're gonna go in there in a second. But this is freaking cool, man. Now, obviously, a lot of stuff isn't gonna work because I would think about 99% of this has nothing to do with the landing. Probably more. Like, look at that. That's got to be for moving stuff around back here, which is just crazy. Let's look at the outside textures. Let's see what this little bay inside looks like as well. This is cool. American flag, of course. Things plated in gold, probably for just heat dissipation, I would assume. And this whole top thing opens. I'm not sure if that's possible in this. I would assume not. Okay, so it's the next day. We're here on stream and we are messing with it a little bit. I got some help from people in stream. And if you look right here, there's a switch to open the bay door. How freaking cool is that? I mean, it's a little bit framey here as well. I'm not sure if it's because of the bay door opening or what, but that is just another reason that this is such a cool add-on. Like, look at it from that perspective. But like, look at that. And then looking into the cockpit, look, we have little dudes modeled. This is just incredibly cool. Like, what is down there? I don't know. We need some space nerds in the comments to enlighten us about this stuff. We are at 134,000 feet, and it should be flying for us. I could move my control surfaces, but I will read you, quote, until 50,000 feet, auto mode is engaged and the shuttle will fly itself. This is programmed so it will follow the realistic flight path the shuttle actually follows IRL. In theory, we should be following the actual flight path. I'm not going to touch anything until we get down to 50,000, and we'll just see how it is.
2,000 years later.
Okay, so We let it sit for a little bit, and I realized that we are nowhere near KTTS. It's all the way over here somewhere on the other side of Florida. It's supposed to spawn you in the same location no matter what. We'll try this again and see if we can get it to correct itself. So I'll let it go again, but I don't think it's gonna make it, which is a little bit disappointing. While we do that though, let's look at the exterior textures because I haven't done that. I just kind of looked at the inside and then the little bay there. I mean, this is cool. These are all like, are these some kind of ceramic? Whatever kind of they make these panels out of for the heat resistance, that is incredibly cool. Look underneath. Even how they changed colors, I assume, from the insane amounts of heat they're going through. The engines, like, look at the texture on those. Like, it's really good. If you don't know already, guess the developer for this and let me know if you think this is on par with what they make or better or worse or whatever. And right now we're at 65,000 feet. When we were at 50,000, we were supposed to be basically over the runway about to start that final turn. Yeah, I'm not sure that this is gonna work very well. Maybe we can try to divert to KOCF. How long is this runway? I mean, it's got a 7,000 foot runway, which is half the length of KTTS, but I think it might be our only option here. Oh, there it is. Okay, okay, we can definitely do this. And again, I have full control. I think that was a little bit before 50,000. That's really my only gripe so far about its auto thing down to 50,000 feet, but everything else has seemed cool so far. We're doing our final turn here. There's the airport. I think I can do it, but we're at 22,000. Only have maybe 150 degrees left of this turn. Okay, coming in. Here's cockpit view. We may be a little shallower than we want it to be, but I think if we just let our airspeed increase and don't worry about our speed brake, I think we'll be okay. Let me get my gear here. Make this our best one, Aaron. Gear's coming out. Nose is going down crazy. Nose coming up. Speed brake out. Come on. Oh, that was not good. Definitely rough. Also, our G's thing, 860. If you got one chance from space, I'll take it. Let's look at this gear real quick before we call it a day. Honestly, really, I mean, it's not like the most in-depth gear I've ever seen, but it's also not bad. And now for the quiz. What developer made this? Also, for the record, the developer sent this to me, but I do not have to make a video on it. I do not get paid, all that good stuff. You know how it usually is. Captain Sim! Yay, Captain Sim. Yeah, Captain Sim made this. So again, leave in the comments, do you think this is higher quality than Captain Sim usually is? Do you think it's lower quality? Tell me more about the space shuttle, all the stuff I said wrong. I was a little disappointed about the auto flying thing from when you just load in from 100 and whatever thousand feet. But overall, most definitely a cool add-on for sure.